Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. Shout out to the Hillshire Small Plates, but that's not why I'm here. Every time I jump on here, I would say this. There's so much going on. There's so much going on. There's been too much happening right now. Besides all the beautiful glam, there is some ugly darkness that's happening amongst the people, amongst these streets of Entertainment Road and the TikTok avenues and behind closed doors and law offices and Tasha K. Who am I? Right on time. You sure is. Right on time. And I'm just overwhelmed. Things I don't even know what were going on. Shout out to Nataj. Things that I didn't even know were in motion. And I'm taking all of this. I'm going to take all of this straight from Tasha K because, I mean, where else would I need to get it from? I got 1,000 views on that. I've been posting things on Instagram and they've been going over very well. Still trying to get my engagement up, but that's another conversation. Let me just go to Tasha's page and just get right into what I'm really focused on right now. What we're going to talk about today, and what we're going to talk about today. And I'm still trying to edit the live from yesterday to put those comments topics out, but I'm overwhelmed. I need an editor. Does anybody know of a good cheap editor or even a very generous editor? Either way, Tasha K. And my phone, my fingers was big, and it's whatever. Where do I even start? Obviously, Nicki Minaj and the whole Jay-Z thing, and I don't know if she has all of those messages, but and I'm just not even sure, and things come off as a rant, so maybe you don't get invested, or maybe you don't believe it, and it's all like Nicki's always been this. So with the Nicki and the Nicki and the Cardi B thing, and maybe it's just for me. Like, how many times can we get into these fights? How many times are y'all gonna go back and forth? She released the album, you want to release the album. She's not a writer, you're not a mother, your kid's this. And when the kids get involved, then things get really reckless. And all everything is awful. Everything is out the window. Now you talk about the kid is this, and now her kid is that. And then this is where other people get involved because now we have arrogant Tay, who is apparently pillow talking with Dream Doll and talking about how Papa Bear is nonverbal. Where are the NDAs? Because Nicki Minaj is suing this girl, Khadijah. Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj is suing this girl, Khadijah, who was, shout out to the user. Thank you. I'm not calling out all the numbers, love. You got to get a name. You got to get a name. Um, I'm not even I'll get into the whole Brandy thing and Monica stuff later. But it's just too much going on. But let's try to nip at this, and also Wendy. But let's try to nip at this Nicki Minaj thing. Please feel free to jump down in the comments. This is a safe space. Where do I even? I'm trying to figure out where the first messages was. Oh, this most recent message was the girl Khadijah. Tasha K says, "Let's drink up, shall we, winos? Child." Word on the curb is that Khadijah, Nicki's former assistant. Oh shit. Nicki's former assistant then slid into a new position. Ra Ali's babysitter. Ra took you to her doc. You don't look like Ra. Whatever she said. You look like whatever she said. Ra Ali's babysitter and side piece. Now listen. They say Ra swings both ways, and allegedly Khadijah handed over Nicki's Apple ID, passwords, and login info straight to Ra. Khadijah, Nicki's former assistant, let me tell you this, and I can't say this enough, but I realize in social media, and this is what I don't like to do. So I'm overcoming a lot of things. I got to kill myself to move towards my best self. And what I don't like to do is repeat myself. But what needs to happen is I need to repeat it so that the new people get it. You sign NDAs. Beyonce sang about it because sang a song about it. Trendy. Beyonce, everything Beyonce do is trending. But she did it off the heels of Tiffany Haddish saying she went to that party and was talking about the things that happened at that party. Now, any place Beyonce go, everybody got to be on non-disclosure, okay? T.S. Madison says it, even her mother's on non-disclosure, okay? When people like Kevin Hart is in relationships, married with children, and he decides he's going to step out with somebody, the person he decides to step out, the person that he might approach, the person that he has his manager approach, the person he has his fucking trainer approach for him, the first thing they do besides take that phone before that meeting happens, they make that woman sign an NDA. You cannot discuss the events of the situation that you are about to present yourself into, or that's about to be presented to you. You cannot do it. So when the chef is talking about what's going on at Diddy's house, that's for a reason. The chef signs an NDA. The one chef was talking about it was I don't want to say Perez Hilton, the original, Perez Hilton walked so Jason Lee could sprint. And it was Jason Lee talking about how he was in a conversation with Cardi B talking about NDAs. And they were talking about how the chef is on an NDA. You step into the house, you sign an NDA. That's a chef. You might not hear nothing. You might be just focused in the kitchen, and the kitchen could be rooms and rooms and miles away in the house from what's really going on with business. Something that you might not even be privy to what's happening, but you're on an NDA because you're in the house and you're in the spirit, you're in the realm, and you don't know what could happen. Somebody could come in, kids can act in a certain way. I might have my period, whatever the case may be. You cannot discuss the things that happen because you're on an NDA. So for Khadijah, I'm frustrated a little because this is the thing about the playing in my face, and I said that in the Damson Idris video. They parade these things in our face, and we're supposed to get all caught up, or whatever the case may be. But things that make sense, what's right makes sense, and things like this don't make sense. Because this is what I'm saying. If Khadijah is the former assistant to Nicki Minaj, the first thing she did before she even knew what she was going to be doing for Nicki Minaj was sign an NDA. T.S. Madison's, and I always bring up T.S. Madison because she discusses these things, which just gives me the landscape to even have this discussion and confirms the things that I've already known. She has a new manager, whatever his name is. His NDA changed. She gave him access to emails and conversations and the ability to perform in her stead, if you will, because I'm watching House of Thrones. All under the NDA. Khadijah, if you're working for Nicki Minaj, not only are you involved with the children, you involved with that man, whatever happened with that man, or if he gets on the phone, if we're in the car and he gets on the phone with a lawyer and you're in the back seat and Nicki Minaj is next to him, you're under the NDA of him as well. If the driver acts crazy, you're under the NDA. If Papa Bear slaps you in the face and leaves a mark, you're under an NDA, and you can't discuss what the hell happened with no one. No one. So for her to then go to the op of Ra Ali and tell Ra Ali Nicki's Apple ID, passwords, and login information, next thing you know, credit card details were pulled, and the rest history. Ra was history. Hashtag Big Back. I tried to spare you, but here we are. We throwing hot dogs and hoes tonight. This is what Tasha K is saying. Everything is alleged. Even my name is allegedly. And then you let Tasha K tell her she talks directly to these people. And there's whatever that is. But that's a different thing, and I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about NDAs. Specifically NDAs that coincide with Nicki Minaj. Even Nicki Minaj saying the things that she said online, as far as like talking about ROCNation and things like that. Maybe ROCNation doesn't have her under an NDA, and maybe there's a clause in it, or maybe there's a limitation on the NDA because you can have different levels to NDAs and things like that, as far as how long they last. But An assistant, in my opinion, would be an NDA in perpetuity, especially in perpetuity means forever, especially when it comes to personal information as far as ID passwords and credit card information. And then that's for Khadijah the assistant, and then for Eric and Tay to go over to Dream Doll's house and kiki it with her and talk about things that are happening with her kid. Of course, if the chef is on an NDA, for sure the hairstylist is on the NDA. So what Nicki Minaj is telling me is that she don't NDA her hairstylist, she don't NDA the damn the assistants, she don't NDA her friends, she don't NDA nobody because people are running around. She don't NDA the stylist, which is really why I think I'm kind of involved, or this has really piqued my interest, because how the fuck did DeAndre Tristan get into all this mess? Why are all the gays involved in all this mess when it comes to these ladies? Tamar Braxton, uh, fucking Nicki Minaj. What is this? And like Tasha K said, shout out to Tasha K. Like Tasha K said, they run in circles. They're all friends. They share information because. Listen to the video. Tasha K was talking to somebody who used to work with DeAndre Tristan before he started styling, and she knew he was moving funny and was using money and using money that he wasn't supposed to, and using money for the wrong things. What the hell? I've been following DeAndre Tristan since I started and since I logged into Instagram, and it was just people. I don't even know how Instagram knew, but I was locked in with lots of people before Calendar, before he started doing fucking Meg Thee Stallion's hair, before he was even big like that, before Rennie Vasquez became the master of faces for Pat McGrath and all that stuff, whatever, into the teens, because that's my thing, makeup, glam the people, whatever the case may be. So when they said DeAndre Tristan is involved with this stuff, I am confused as to what the hell is really going on here. That man works for lots of people. He is a consistent person with Robin Roberts down at the GMA offices. I'm here for it all. Down at the GMA offices, there has to be some level of decorum about him. Even though I've always looked at him a certain kind of way, very like a side-eyed type of way, just because I have my spirit of discernment, but also maybe physically, the whole Steve Urkel, Stefan Urkel glow up, and now I'm moving off of my looks, but I'm still this same kind of sneaky ass and insecure type of person. You know what I mean? But whatever. But he's working with the people, from Robin Roberts to Nicki Minaj. He works for lots of he'll style lots of people. I don't have the list right now. If you care, or when I chop this up, I'll put in a list of people, whatever the case may be. But it's surprising. So now apparently he was the one stealing thousands of dollars from Nicki Minaj, had access to her sources close to Nicki Minaj say DeAndre Tristan never styled her for the stage, which I think is a lie. He only pulled casual looks for meet and greets and errands. She was styled by Mayor from Paris, wearing custom Versace, custom Dolce & Gabbana, custom Schiaparelli, custom Off-White. He's the Macy's guy, which is a downgrade because he's definitely not a Macy's guy, because if you ever seen his social media, all he carries is exclusive and rare Birkins, and he's always dressed in things, and he has at least $30,000-$40,000 worth of fucking Cartier love bracelets on his wrist. You know what I mean? So whether that's Nicki's money or not, because there were charges of like $5,000 here, even $3,200 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Different charges coming out of the account. And as a stylist, yeah, you're going to these showrooms and you're pulling certain things, and all that stuff gets returned. So if you go to Schiaparelli and you spend $3,000 on two things, I might pick one, they'll refund me the money for the other thing. And I know where the one side of the money went to, and I know where the other side of the money went to. And I don't think it has to get to a point like this, where now this is a story, because that should have already been checked, which goes into a conversation or a podcast that I seen with Candy talking about how, money accountants and stuff has stole at one point, has stole about $100,000 from the group. And from that point on, she moved a little bit differently. And now a piece of money don't come out of her account without her signature, without her authorization. And at the point, and Nicki Minaj has been around too damn long to not be non-disclosuring people and not be seeing how the hell the money is coming out, as opposed to Cardi B, who talks about how she has the people to stab at the house. Like I said, she was one talking to Jason Lee about NDA and the cook. She knows what the money is. She gives the house manager a card with the money on it, and she sees what's bought. She looks at the receipts. She's like, "Why are you asking for our money?" And now that's why Cardi B, and that's the thing about Cardi B and Beyonce, they're trendy and on time for the things that are trendy and on time. Cardi B is aware the price of a gallon of milk, as opposed to my girl Kimberly Noel. And she knows that the people are out here suffering, because at the end of the day, too, she is from a certain avenue of the world, a certain avenue of life. So she's not completely fogged in the fame that she doesn't understand how people are struggling and the cost of things and how the cost of things is rising. That's why she'll sell an album for $4.99. That's why she's wherever she was doing meet and greets for $20. Granted, charging people for the meet and greet, whatever, but it's still a business. And if you want to do this, you could do it for $20, because this is what people want to do. Now she's making people happy, and now that's a separate different thing. And then that's the thing too about Nicki Minaj. And it's like, if you sitting here and you always arguing, and you know the industry is trying to put people up against you, from Cardi B to Lotto to JT to all these other artists, and you only do features with people like Bia and blah 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 that are like insignificant factors. Why would you tether yourself to somebody like Kenneth Petty? Why would you do that? And then in the spirit, again, which goes back to Tamar, I don't know if Tamar was on the show, on the Real at the same time, but even still, it's all in the same spirit. The Real brought that girl on that show and let everybody know that didn't have no idea. Let everybody know what your husband had done, what he's up to, and what y'all do right now. Why would you do that? Why would you not NDA the people? Why do you not check your bank statements? And why are you married to a man that will bring you down? It coupled immediately off the heels of the conviction of her brother. So that now when she goes on rants on Twitter talking about people that have given her money and supported her and helped her along her career, I'm not saying they're right. But when she goes on rants like this, it's not justifiable, because your decisions don't warrant any interest in you making claims about how the industry moves, because you should know better. And if you don't know better by experience, you should know better by Tunchi. And if you don't know better by experience, then you should know better by seeing other people's experiences. Hold on. I need me a little light plate and catch my breath. This one is Genoa salami and Gouda. Let me tell you something about Gouda. It's delicious. I don't have nothing to say. Or y'all listening, and that's fine too. Things don't make sense. And that's where I get passionate about it. Same thing with Wendy. You sit here fraudulent, know you taking pictures in these things, knowing that the police is going to do an investigation. And you got shit sitting in the house. You done return shit back to the damn thing. And you sitting in pictures with the same jewels that's supposed to be going, sitting on your person. It's stupid. It's so stupid. The world is in shambles. Okay? Sidebar, did anybody get that $400 payout that the government issued? Apparently payments went out yesterday. I ain't get mine. Um, the things just don't make sense. Um, touch case at the iron. I'm looking for some more of that. I'm trying to see where that the first story of DeAndre Tristan. I don't gossip, steal, or talk about people's kids. Let's read this. Arrogant Tay posted. She posted this 3 days ago. Arrogant Tay posted, I guess in response to that, he been pillow talking with Dream Down. And I said, you got to be careful. And this is the message, right? You got to be careful of the company you keep. One thing I don't fucking do is talk about people's kids. This is Arrogant Tay. Especially anybody I'm close with. I will never in my life gossip or pillow talk about anybody I'm close to, personal business. And never in a million years will I ever need to steal or take something from anybody. I don't play that shit. Never been a big goofy mess, gossiping nigga, and never will I be. Always been a real nigga and will forever remain one. Keep my fucking names out these lame, corny ass stories and lies that y'all making up. I don't got shit to do with nothing and what anybody else have to do. And I don't got shit to do with nothing and what anybody else have going on. I stay the fuck in my lane and mind my business and make my money. The fuck I look like going to another hole telling somebody business. I am not that big. I am not these big, I guess, fags that get tea and gossip. Never been my speed and never will be. Him and Dreamed I'll be hunching. And that's what they said. That's what they were talking. That's what they were alluding to by pillow talking when they referenced it to pillow talking. And it's, I think Joe Budden talking about who said Arrogant Tay wasn't gay. That was a while ago, like 2 years ago. Like Mona said, don't call me white girl. And like some of you know, because y'all be laying with these men. A good man, a good man gossip better than any basic bitch. A good man. Because you get guys be like, oh, I'm not interested. No, no, no. Men gossip. There's no different sides to the tea. Obviously, they bring a different perspective. It's not above or beneath no man. And I don't care if Arrogant Tay is gay, bi, tri, he, him, they. I don't care about any of that. But the thing is, Nicki Minaj is suing DeAndre Tristan. She's not suing Arrogant Tay. And I didn't see, Tasha K didn't report that she's suing Khadijah. So those are invalidated claims. The things that they can't prove. Things that she can't prove. It's just some of these, you know, they just put out so much stuff and it's hard to follow consecutively. Randomly, again, where is Rob Kardashian? There's no way in the world Blac Chyna, this is completely separate, but I just seen a thing. There's no way in the world Blac Chyna on social media talking about our love is forever, unless that's a cryptic message. Our love is forever, and you don't have no picture with the man. The man don't want to be seen on social media or in the world. Why won't she sue ROCNation? Don't want to be seen on social media, don't want to be seen in the world. But your public ass is getting on social media talking about our love is forever. And you think the people, and apparently they do, don't care, will let their love forever be something secluded? At the very least, I'd love to see a picture of you and the kids with the man. With Dream as big as he is, as king as big as he is, like, big, growing. And it could be from the back of Rob, not some old ass picture from 5 years ago. The things they parade in our faces as whatever it is, and we just take it and we run with it. But sometimes things have to be called. Things have to be called into question. If it's gonna come across my timeline, besides me just getting into the shit because it's interesting or whatever the case may be, things have to be called into question because there's multiple sides to the story. Now, I do believe, and then I heard, DJ Academics, and that's the thing about these industry people have these experiences. DJ Academics is like, I don't fuck with Nicki Minaj. Her music is all right, but as an individual, I don't fuck with her. But when I say pray for her, it's because I know the experience. I know the behaviors of ROCNation. I know how they move. And apparently it all stems beyond with the CEO of ROCNation, Desiree Perez. They're gonna get me now. Desiree Perez, who was allegedly, I guess, cartel involvement and things like that, and she's suing her daughter and things. It's just absolutely things that don't have anything to do with us. Don't have anything to do with us. Desiree Perez and Arrogante telling people that Nicki Minaj kid don't speak. But also too, if you were part of the collective, and we've done that, if you were part of the collective, you know what I'm about to say because I've said it before. And if you're new here, I've been saying this for years. Nicki Minaj don't know that boy. Okay? Nicki Minaj don't know that boy. She don't have no type of personal connection. And I don't know, I'm no assistant, no stylist, no hairstylist, no clothing stylist. And I don't babysit or fix that bitch a cold beverage. But you can tell when you look at people like Cardi B, when you look at Rihanna, when you look at maybe even Beyonce, I guess you could say, when they do show her with the kids or whatever the case may be. You could definitely look at Kim Kardashian, Khloe. You could look at the mothers that are in the industry now. Definitely Queen of the South Teas. Definitely look at the women who are mothers in the industry now. How they are with their kids. And if you have kids, nieces, nephews, godchildren, you know how kids are when they with you and they fuck with you. That boy barely want to sit with her, don't never wrap his arms around her, is never looking at her, but let that creep Kenneth Petty be in the picture. His arms are around, he's engaging with his dad, he's all the things. There's a disconnect there. There's definitely a disconnect there. And if nobody's going to talk about it, it remains untalked about until somebody like Cardi B brings it up or Arrogant Taste those and because how else would anybody know? Now, it's too many lines, there's too many chains of communication for that to get out because I didn't get involved in the whole Cardi B thing because I'm like, girl. But again, like I said, they started talking about the kids. Nicki want to talk about the baby's teeth. And then Cardi said, your baby's favorite color is 5. And if your kid, the same thing with Beyonce. If he has MS allegedly, and if he has something wrong with his legs, or he has an unstable gait, or whatever the case may be, these are the things that they don't allow these celebrities to be real about. I don't see how any type of ailment or situation with your kids could be detrimental to your star status. If anything, I feel like at an elevator, it definitely makes you more appealing to people that could be going through the same thing. That's another avenue, but apparently these people don't go around the avenues because, like I said about Beyonce too, she knew the gays was behind her after Get Me Bodied. Definitely Destiny's Child for sure, but was behind her after Get Me Bodied. Did she ever put out a little EP for the gays? Here, take this to the club and have your way? No, she didn't. She waited until homosexuality became a huge topic, like a congressional issue, to then put this thing up and wherever the case may be. So now there's the duality, and it's not about supporting people, it's about fucking with our fucking heads. That's not the news. Where is the good news? Where is the news of success in your community? Where is the good news of success in your friends and things like that? And why do I have to get on here? Well, not why, but here I have to get on here, one, because of my interest. I'm interested in interesting things. But at the same time, this is what people want to hear. If I got on here and talked about, I don't know, success, I don't think it had the same response. So we're living in that world, and that's why they continue to fuel it. What's the end results of things? We're still waiting on the end result of the Wendy Williams situation. We're still waiting on the end result of, we'll see what the fucking end result is with the goddamn, with this whole Nicki and ROCNation thing. We saw the end result between Tasha K and Cardi B. Cardi B continued to sail, and Tasha K continues to sail. Sail. High above. All the haters, like Candy said. Parading things in our face and just taking it, it's probably not even that big of a deal. I do think same way with people, and Nicki's not a Gemini. But when people in the industry, there's the thing, it said when a fish comes on land to warn you about an alligator, you have to listen to it. You have to take heed. At the same time, it's no coincidence that his ass is in Abu Dhabi trying to do global business with these sheikhs or these billionaires. There's no coincidence all of this is happening at the same damn time. So it's really good. And I think I'm just slicing it in half. I'm just trying to slice it in half. There's no need to fester in this. Because at the end of the day, I think they all win. Nicki getting paid from her post on Twitter, and whatever app she uses to talk to the barbs, she's getting paid. And all of this stuff, this drumming up of things, it's publicity. The sheikhs, those people that are non-Americans, will use American bullshit to their advantage. And then when somebody like Diddy goes down, that's just, child, I don't know, timing. Every dog has their day. The big influential people. Jay-Z's done enough deals, done enough wheeling and dealing, brought enough people in, moved enough money, hid enough money, lied enough, because even Tasha K said that she spoke to people that were dealing drugs when Jay-Z was coming up down in Maryland and stuff like that. Is where he met Ramir Sadoway's mother, who's dead. Like the girl, what's her name? Kimberly? Claudia? Not Claudia. Claudia was her friend, who's dead. He wheeled and dealed, and the people took a hold of the people. I don't know who they are. Kathy. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what nationality they are or what religion they are, but they sunk their talents into an individual like Jay-Z. And that's how you know people are groomed. These people, everybody that you see that's like a big name is groomed in some way, shape, or form. And it's either nepotism, because I'm even seeing now the connection with people. It's like, where did this person come from? How are they so famous? That big nigga who used to be dancing with his mom and stuff like that is friends with like the drag queens. So there's not a disconnect. It's like, oh, let me do this too. And then I put this, and I put, you know what I'm saying? I get the same result. I put that, of course, you got to put a little effort in. Everything got a little, you put a little effort in. But it's nobody's just, or I'm not just because I'm organic. I have no connection to any famous drag queens. I have no connection to any celebrities. Beyond hugging, fucking, Bevy Smith and Brian McKnight's corny asses from my city. I have no connections to anybody. The amount of work I have to do, and granted, my content may not be as good or as engaging, but then there's something to it. There's something to the algorithm itself, and we understand that. And then I just found out that other guy, not Nas, the creator, whatever that boy's name is, the one that's always wearing heels, the short one. I guess he's going through some turmoil too, and that's the thing. Public humiliation. Got on. He knew what he was saying when he got on that thing, and what that girl was looking like. And I don't know what he said because I didn't watch no. I don't watch videos like that because what's the point? but I will use it as a point of reference. But he knew what would happen, and some things get staged because that's what management teams are for, that's what agents are for, and that's what the industry wants. So whatever happens with him. But then there's that other tall one who's with him. I don't know where Nas comes from. I don't know what his connection is. And Nas from the gram. I don't know what his connection is. I don't know who he is or who he's related to. But that other tall one who's copying what Nas do is related to um the girl from I want to call her name, but she was in so many things. She's in Single Moms with the Tyler Perry movie or whatever the case may be. She was in Hey Mel. She was in 911. She was the mother's healthcare worker. People are fucking related. People are fucking related, connected. And then these are the people that fill our fucking industries. And we think they're just some random person, whatever the case may be. And then all this attention and all this movement happens is sent towards these apps to try to do these same things. You know. And I could be the pot calling the kettle. But besides like posting pictures on Instagram, maybe Hollywood Jim, let me look it up. I think so. Is it him? Look at the picture. Yes. Him. His auntie. And that's the thing too. Now I could do another. And I put those videos out where it's looking at who's all related, and it's like the nepotism of it all. You had no idea. Auntie. Yep. What's her name? Right here. Fucking things. Get out of here. That's not Hope. What is her name? Can I see it in this picture? Because they're pulling up something else. And maybe it's not his auntie. Maybe he just, and I'm, always leaving an opportunity for, there's things I can learn and be more informed on. Coco Brown. Her name is Coco Brown. So that sort of thing. So what the fuck do we do? There's no security. There's no, if the people that you have around you are doing things like this, and it's like these are like name brand people. Arrogant Tate, name brand, like a brand. DeAndre Tristan, a brand. Ra Ali, a brand. I don't know this Khadijah girl. I don't know Khadijah. Khadijah, I think I need you. But they aren't something like, oh, I found somebody off of Indeed or LinkedIn. You know what I mean? These are people that are involved. And that's what I think is interesting too. It's like it's always somebody we know. Except Kenneth Petty. Who the hell knew about Kenneth Petty? But the thing about it is that when Nicki Minaj married Kenneth Petty, the niggas in Queens, everybody in Queens knew who the hell who he was. Queens, and that's where Cardi B's from. And everybody in Queens knew who he was. Everybody knew in Queens what he had done. So, and that's the thing. It might not. We might not know along the masses, but particular in the place, or when we talk about Amanda Perez, Desiree Perez. We might not know her just as pedestrians, as civilians, but people that are involved in the behaviors that she's had, or not even so much know her career, but have experienced her behavior, experienced her presence, her wrath, or whatever. They know who the fuck she is. And when she gets the position at fucking as CEO at ROCNation, she didn't turn into the Pope. Been going live with Lala lately. Eric and Tay been going live with Lala lately, which is, I mean, he's been doing her hair more frequently. I'll say that. And also, he started following Nicki Minaj, and that's the thing. It's like, who are the weirdos? And that's there's not even weirdos, and I shouldn't call them weirdos. I need them on the staff. But who are the people that go to these celebrities' Instagram pages and type in to see who the hell they're following and follow those sorts of things? But that's like, how I don't know how Nicki Minaj, how she's stuck in the house. But then that's the thing. It's like the control of it all. We were talking about. I haven't released this part of the videos from my live yesterday because I need an editor. Again, I say. But it's like, why the hell is Kelly? Why is Kelly Rowland, the child of destiny, on tour with a bitch who can't keep hydrated and another bitch whose voice is paralyzed on one side, singing with another bitch? I don't want to call her a bitch. Who's dealing with whatever? Like, how does that little stage and that podunk production qualify or warrant the presence of Kelly Rowland? Okay? By all accounts and definitions, her and Beyonce is neck and neck. No, Kelly is not selling out world tours like Beyonce is. But when it comes to talent and when it comes to pedigree and when it comes to so everybody keeps saying Kelly looked the fuck good. And that's what we always want to focus on, how good somebody looked. But people be fucking struggling or under the thumbnail of something. That's what somebody said in the comments was, publishing and money and whatever the case may be. So it's like people like Kelly Rowland is put in a position to do things that she might normally not do because of the man or the bigger picture, the bigger, the situation above her. Meanwhile, Kelly worth $30 million. So she don't need to go on tour for nobody. But apparently she does. As opposed to somebody like Ashanti who's sitting up on the beach half naked with the damn baby who's too small after a year old. In my opinion, my niece is bigger than him. She's been bigger than him since she was born. So I'm not calling into question anybody's mothering or whatever the case may be, but I know what I know and I see what I see. She's out here, just because she married to Nelly, she don't have to do these things. Kelly is married to a very successful man himself. And if he don't work for ROCNation, he's involved with the things that happen over at ROCNation, okay? So it ain't like she got to go on tour. And it ain't about Kelly needing to be recognized or because she don't, if that was the case, then she would have new music. Now, something about Tamar, what Tamar gonna do, Tamar gonna put she gonna find another song. She gonna put another song out that don't nobody care about, but that's what she gonna tour with. We sitting here looking up the songs that Kelly's on tour with. Yesterday, Kelly is touring with decades old music. Decades old music. Girl is 15 years old. And then she get on that tour talking about, I'm gonna share a little Destiny's Child tea. Girl, that's not Destiny's Child tea. Everybody know that football player was beating your ass and didn't want you being in the group and didn't want you around Beyonce. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. And I could be wrong, but she was also dealing with that same football player when she was shooting Dilemma. That was the dilemma. So I do not understand the makings of the industry or the wheelings and the dealings and the pawns being shifted in a situation like that. I do not understand it. And of course, Kelly on there looking good. She can't not go on there and look good. Meanwhile, Brandy's voice ain't working. She done got dehydrated again. Brandy was dehydrated. Do y'all remember when Brandy was dehydrated that last time? She was hospitalized for dehydration back in 2022. I thought it was longer than that, but it was just 2020 fucking 2. So you telling me I'm sitting here, I could watch a video with Jocelyn Hernandez, Kathy Hilton, and fucking Toya Bush Harris sit with an IV in their arm while they get their makeup done, everything like that. Pump full of nutrients. The Kardashians go all the way to Jordan to get the elixirs and the fixers and the things and stuff like that. And you telling me Brandy can't get a sip of water and a vitamin water and a supplement to keep her ass ready? You telling me that they called up Brandy and Monica and they've been promoting this corny ass tour for the last year and a half, that none of them girls was ready to get that they couldn't get the team there? I'm not saying they need to be a team like Beyonce, but I am saying that Because what Beyonce has done and the things that she do in concerts, and not just this past concert, been because the Beyonce experience was an experience, and that was over a decade ago. And since then, she continues to elevate. You telling me you can't pick nobody off that team, or somebody who's a protege, or somebody who's on that team, or somebody likened to somebody on that team to get on your team and produce a good function for you? That stage is subpar. The sounding is subpar. The costumes are subpar. The only thing I think I like on that stage is their hair. Kelly's, Brandy's, Monica's. Those white outfits. It's you walking out here in these big ass outfits, these overcoats. What's the point of this? What's the point of this? Tell me what the point is. And if Brandy struggles with weight, food issues, then she don't need to be on tour. Miley Cyrus ain't been on tour yet because she talked about the schedule and her voice and meeting the demand. Nobody's sitting there waiting for Brandy. Child, even though them people buy the tickets, it's something to do, and people got money to buy tickets to go to these tours. So everybody ain't broke, and that's the thing. It's like everybody's not broke. People still out here making money, but people got the money for these damn tours. Um, it's just because you sell out the goddamn tour, that don't mean it's necessary. And why do you even want to put yourself in a situation like that? You can't even. We'll see. She got 62 dates, I think, 67 dates or 37 dates, something like that, from October 14th to December 27th, or some shit like that. You got these dates. Is you gonna make it through these dates? I don't even. So let me tell you, I might as well, because I'm gonna just do all the good thing. Because what's the point of producing a video? I'd be so exhausted producing videos. I really am. I just don't have it. I just don't have it in me. Bear with me, Brandy. To my dear fans of Chicago, because she walked off the stage. So many of those videos, I'm sure y'all saw them because they've been all over TikTok and Facebook. Walked off that stage. The one video I seen, she walked right over to the sound. I don't even know. The sound is usually out. And the side, I don't know, Beyonce people be out, and whatever the case may be. She walked right over to the people straight. The girl was sitting right on the side, and that's how she got the video after Brandy walked off that stage and did not get back on the stage. Then Monica's hood ass get up on there, and that's the thing about religion. Monica's hood ass get on there talking, want to pray over the people and stuff like at 37 years old, please don't pray over me. I don't know you, and I don't know your prayers. I don't know where you seek your prayers from, so I do not request prayers from anybody. Well wishes from good intending people, but I don't need prayer. So for her to get on there and do all that stuff is completely off brand, because that's not Brandy's brand. She says that in that live too. I'll do this and I'll put that in there. But Brandy's not spiritual. So for Monica to get on there, that's again the duality of it all. Their duality, Brandy is, which is funny because Brandy is the good girl and Monica is the hood rat, and Monica's the one praying and Brandy don't believe in. So again, that's fucked. But here go Brandy. To my dear fans of Chicago, thank you all for the overwhelming love, support, and most importantly, your prayers. I sincerely apologize for the abrupt end to last night's performance in Chicago. After weeks of nonstop rehearsals, Beyonce don't eat or drink during rehearsals. Everybody knows. Dolly Parton, Madonna, all of them. And Brandy been around just as long. Last night I experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint. What the fuck is a feeling of wanting to faint? I was feeling a faint. Everyone involved agreed that that prioritizing my well-being was of the utmost importance. I still made the decision to try and return and give it my all. Even Wendy Williams finished the show after falling out. I still made the decision to try and return and give it my all, despite not feeling okay with having to make some adjustments and the show being very technical. Unfortunately, it was impossible to fully connect sonically with the production. I really appreciate everyone's best efforts. The production ain't been right since, even in the videos that you watch, the sound is off. So I can imagine what it sounds like there. I'm deeply grateful. Meanwhile, Kelly's sound was on, right? I'm deeply grateful to my sister Monica for stepping up with such grace and professionalism, and the entire crew for their continued care and support. I went from the arena to see a doctor nearby and have taken the proper precautions to help moving forward. Your understanding, patience, and unwavering belief mean the world to me. I look forward to returning to the stage stronger and more grateful than ever, alongside my girl Monica tonight in Indianapolis. Whatever you experienced that day in Chicago is not going to be cured in 24 hours. And if it is, it's on the same type of, I always reference Succession, where they were giving that man, Rogue, whatever his name was, injecting him with steroids or a concoction of things to get him through press conferences, to get him through meetings, and to get him through these things. Same thing they were doing with fucking Joe Biden, because where the hell is Joe Biden? Where is Rob Kardashian? Where is Joe Biden? And where the hell is Fergie while we at it? And once I start asking where the people are, they always end up dead. Ask about Richard Pryor, Richard Smallwood, Richard Simmons, he dead. Ask about, I asked at the same time, asked about all three of these women, and they all died in the same damn year. Jessica Lansbury, Betty White, and I don't wish death on nobody. Jessica Lansbury, Betty White, and the Queen of England, they all died in the same damn year. Where is Joe Biden? Where is Rob Kardashian? And where is Fergie? I'm just throwing that out there. But Brandy, whatever you experiencing with your dehydration, your chronic issues with dehydration and malnutrition should have already been managed and handled by the time you started to promote this tour. Should have already been issued. Should have already been handled. Insert Olivia Pope. And it's not like you going out, you're not on these songs that they're singing. And that's the thing about production too. It's just little things. It's little things about how they care for these people that are significant factors in the industry. Beyonce is where I was going with that, but I reference Anna Nicole Smith in that documentary that they put out on Netflix. Is that once Anna Nicole Smith did that Playboy, I think that was her first big thing, that Playboy issue, you never saw her roots. You never saw Anna Nicole Smith with dark hair ever again after they pulled her up out of that small town and turned her into the Anna Nicole Smith. They upheld the image even when she was fucking struggling. That's what I'm saying about people. Even when she was struggling with the things, they maintained that name. They maintained that Anna Nicole brand. Maintained it. For it to be as sustainable wherever it is right now, or even when her daughter decides to step into her footsteps, or whether she decides to leverage her mother's fame, or whatever Danny Lynn decides to do when she decides to do what she's going to do, it will always maintain, because there was never, granted, she was a significant downfall, but it was more based on mental and loss, not physical. Granted, she went up and down, whatever the case may be. And thanks to Kanye's workout plan, I'm the envy of all my friends. You know what I mean? And Dexatrim, baby, all that whole thing. Anna Nicole, that was a time. And if you were there, you're there. If you weren't, I'm sorry. But they maintained her hair for decades, which seems small, right? But they kept that bleach to keep her right. Brandy, besides killing that woman on the PCH, her and Bruce doing the same thing on the PCH, and situations with her dad, the father of her damn child, or whatever the case may be. Because I had to go back and look at that, because there was something that's going on with the dad, because she didn't want to have babies, and she ended up having a baby, and she wanted to get married because she had a shotgun marriage. Brandy been a mess, and then that which makes sense because Ray J's a mess. But connected at the same time too. Connected to what and for what cause. Connected to what and for what cause. Let me finish. Brandy, and then she's dehydration, hospitalized for dehydration in 2022. Just 2022. It wasn't long after. It's 2025. Between 2022, what year did they? What year did they say? I mean, what month did they say? October 2022. is when she was hospitalized for dehydration. Singer Brandy was hospitalized in October 2022 for dehydration and low nutrition after reports claim she had a possible seizure. Had a possible seizure, which I don't think is medically accurate. I don't think you have a possible seizure. She addressed the situation in an Instagram story, thanking fans for their support again, and stating she was following doctor's orders to rest. More recently, in October 2025, she left the Chicago concert abruptly due to dehydration. The way she left that stage didn't give dehydration, because no. Do y'all know how dehydration works? Do y'all know how seizures work? Do you know how dementia works? The issues that plague our people. More recently, October, abruptly due to dehydration, but was not hospitalized this time, as confirmed by her on social media, stating she was following again doctor's orders and getting the rest she needed. Can we talk about the things? Can we talk about the things? And what I was saying is between October 2022, which is 3 years ago, to the month, you had to have planned. You had to have taken. I'll give him at least a year and a half to plan this tour. But the way the tour is going off, you think they just called everybody last night. So there's two sides of the same coin. You just don't go on tour all willy-nilly. It's rehearsals, which they've done, because they definitely do got a little two-step, but just enough rehearsals. I think they got, like, at the most 7 dancers on that stage. So you have rehearsals, which take, let's say, a whole year process. You got to find the dancers. You got to get the choreography. You have to practice the choreography. You start your rehearsals. That's a year, right? That's a year right there. 9 months at the most. That's a year, because you got to get the choreographer. And you have to do, and the choreographer has to figure, the choreographer, the first thing you got to do is get the set list. And then what they said at the last show, they didn't even sing The Boy Is Mine. How you on The Boy Is Mine tour and don't sing The Boy Is Mine? On the heels of everything else that I've discussed already, it's just like, what the fuck? It's my sister. I'm gonna call her back. Um, um, it just don't make sense. It just don't make sense to be out here with these people, carrying on with these people, to have these people spend their money. How much? How much? How much? Do y'all know how much the seats are at the Brandy and Monica concert? Should I go to Ticketmaster? I'm gonna ask AI. How much are the tickets for the Boy Is Mine tour? Tickets for the Boy Is Mine tour generally range from about $99 to $140 in official sale. Third-party sites like StubHub or Vivid Seats may start around $100. They start around $107. From $99 to $140 something dollars they charge these people out here. And you telling me I'm not gonna get no sound? You telling me I'm not gonna get no performance elements? And you telling me these heifers gonna walk off stage in the middle of the thing and then I'm gonna get a prayer? You telling me I spent $120 for a prayer? Because what she didn't say in that sorry message was that we're gonna refund you a portion of your money, because that's what I would expect. That's not what was said. And maybe she did. I didn't see that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I could be inaccurate, but not wrong. Come on now. Come on now. And I probably will go into a different video with the whole Nicki thing, because am I a Nicki fan? And even with Wendy, you know what I mean? Like the connection. And it seems maybe the things have nothing to do with each other. But am I a Nicki fan is in prison, while Nicki is trying to put people in prison. Well, I don't, the Cephals, I think they're home now, but them, if it's no way It's no way that Osefo drama is playing out the way it's playing out, and they don't end up in jail. It's no way. It's no way. I think they convicted Teresa Giudice on less. They convicted Teresa Giudice did a year and a day just for association. I think that was what her charge was. She didn't have nothing to do with what Joe did, but she knew what was going on. These motherfuckers, and that's what Funky Dineva said, these goddamn Nigerians. And I don't want to say nothing like that, but he said it, so get on him for saying it. And that's the story from Simon to hold on, because that's what somebody said what we discussed too. Natasha, like you said, Bravo was the feds, and we got that Jewish man at the helm. No shade, and maybe I shouldn't have said that. Of all the things I said, you don't talk about the Jewish people sitting at the helm. And what is he doing? And I think like that girl probably watched our video because she just said the same things. And what I'm saying is not so unique. I mean, you just got to be a thinker, I think. But the way she was saying, it's like, girl, you tapped into over at the collective and got your little video together. Shout out to her, whoever she is. Don't get banned, right? But Simon, these Osefos, and now I gotta find it because there's something going on with Shamia's husband. And I hit my fingers, and it's so frustrating when I try to type something and my fingers don't hit the right. Shamia Morton husband. He's the CEO of a multi-million-dollar mechanical contracting company that works in the HVAC industry, and they have 2 daughters. And I'm just going off what she said. I don't even know what he did. I didn't finish watching her video, but she was saying how he's caught up in something. Break-in. This is a month ago. Shamia Morton's husband, Gerald Mwagni. Yep, there we go, Natasha, right there. Shamia Morton's husband, Gerald Mwagi, faces years behind bars in shocking $1.7 million tax evasion scandal. Court documents revealed explosive details of hidden accounts and financial deceit. That's why Toya Bush Harris throw them parties when her and her husband do what they need to do properly and get the hell out of debt and get back in black and get back to providing the way they need to. Honest and true. Look at Toya differently when things like this happen. Because what the fuck? Because what the fuck? And that's the thing. That's a blatant disregard. Because everybody knows, Uncle Sam, everybody knows if you black, you know about Uncle Sam. Probably white people too, but we know about Uncle Sam in different ways. When you black and you first get a job, the first thing your parents or somebody's going to tell you that Uncle Sam is always going to take their piece. You want to know why? Because you're wondering where the hell your money went. Okay, Uncle Sam always going to get their piece, right? So now you get into a position. We talking like Wesley Snipes and Lauryn Hill, and now Gerald Mwagi. You get in a position where you're making millions of dollars, and you think Uncle Sam don't want his piece, and you don't have the people in place to do those very things. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And that's Reddit saying Shamia Morton's husband offered her 6 figures not to join the cast. And then Candy told her she didn't need to come back, right? Let me ask her what you call it. Let me turn it up so you can hear what she's saying. What's some good news going on in the world today?
Some good news today includes scientific discoveries, like the James Webb Telescope potentially finding the first stars. There are also positive environmental projects, such as solar panels on a California canal, and kelp forests are returning. Plus, there are community successes, like flamingos returning to Florida.
First of all, I need to change her voice. Second of all, kelp, the solar panels, and a star don't have shit to do with me right now. That's some shit down the line, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. God willing, I'll be here. But let me tell you, that's not my concern. That's my kids' concern. Okay. Did I say what's going on in the news today? Something I could benefit from today? Other uplifting stories include breakthrough in European Union for postpartum depression. This is how you know. I don't get. The only thing that can make this good news is if James Webb is a black man. Let me see. He sound black. He sound black. James Webb was a U.S. States former United States Undersecretary of State. So he worked. Is that the same guy? Oh, Northrop Grumman Corporation. A friend of mine worked for Northrop Grumman. I'm assuming that he ain't black because this is space shit, and you know black people don't do space. Okay. Except you, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, let me tell you something about Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know if I said this to you guys too before. The only reason that man is as mainstream as he is, in my opinion, IMHO, is because he is informed, but he doesn't say or any type of hesitation in his delivery of information. So he seems extremely credible. He seems extremely knowledgeable. Anything. So he's just ready at all costs for any question. No need to take a break. No need for consideration. Just a straight, blatant response out of something, which is, when you're talking about billions of miles of negative space and holes that are trillions of years old. Don't you want to take a beat? Maybe not. The people don't left because I don't know, they don't agree. Like I said, black people don't do space. Um, um, let me figure out if James is a black man. Oh, here, who is James Webb and what did he do? James Webb returned to Washington on this February 14th, 1961, when he accepted the position of an administrator of NASA. That's a big fucking deal, no? James E. Webb, a white man, born, no, he was administrator for NASA for 7 years. Good and white, okay? I find him intriguing, and maybe that's why the people left. Yeah, and like I said, people find him intriguing because he does not hesitate. And that's intriguing. If I was consistent and I spoke and I do speak, I speak well, but I take my time and and I think about what the fuck I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? To make sure it makes sense, to make sure I'm gathering my information. He just be ready. Any question, boom, ready. And here's that, and just spew it all out. No breaks, no ums, no ahs. And if you take a class in public speaking, besides that 3 break, his hairline is extremely intriguing. But besides waiting three seconds to let your point land, it's about being confident and speaking in a way and not using other words instead of and And he doesn't even use those filler words. He just straight off the muscle. Which, like I said, it's little things that create a picture. It's a lot of little things that create the picture. And I'm just trying to figure out what all these little things mean at the end of the day. I boil it down to, I'm getting out of here because I don't need to be on here. It's an hour and 8 minutes. um, and podcast is on an hour. Let me tell you something. What am I saying? What the fuck was I just saying? And then I had another thought, and then I had another thought. He says what he said. Oh, a lot of little things. I don't know what all this stuff is. I don't know what all this stuff means. At the end of the day, it's simply, at the end of the day, it's a distraction. At me, London Kelly, in the collective, we all think differently. We're here because whatever. But I'm just, like I said, I'm cutting it in half. There isn't really a need to like divulge for the outside of it. There's no need to like bring it into like our everyday life. Besides these artists or these content creators, this is a check for them, and ultimately, residually, a check for me as well in my approach to the situations. But I would love it if there was just other things to discuss. Also, too, this is not really, people don't follow me. I did not amass my following from this type of content. I amassed the following from vintage tea in the documentaries, is what somebody called them yesterday. Um, so that's what they follow me for. But this is how I think. And so there's that. And then I was going to say something else before I got out of here. Oh, yeah, the podcast is only an hour. That's what I was saying. Podcast is only an hour. And you know, I'll be carrying on here. The other day, TikTok said something like, go live 60 hours and something, when to do something. I said, you want me to go? And that's TikTok has changed, which is another separate conversation. But TikTok has changed 60 hours. You want me to go live 60 hours? I used to go live. I went live 60 hours a week. And all of this is when it was all yesteryear. But so much has changed. And god damn it. If TikTok was what it was back then, I just wish it was. And this is like the story of my life. But if TikTok what it's doing now as far as paying the people out and whatever, crediting people for lives and stuff like that, I tell you, I wouldn't be sitting here in this fatigue fucking hoodie and my hair would not look like this. Okay? And I would not be wearing these fake glasses. We'd be on the Riviera on a yacht because that money would have fucking came in. So everything in due time, I guess. I need to continue to reach. And that's what I'll continue to do because I continue to feel. And I will continue to be interested in the interesting things. And I will continue to present my thoughts and my content to the people that are interested in the interesting things as well. And with that being said, I'm getting out of here so I can chop and screw this 1 hour and 9 minute video. Add a little razzle dazzle to it so 300 people can watch it because that's what I live for right now. With that being said, please enjoy the rest of your week. I love you for sticking around. Love you for listening. I love you, Natash. And I will see you guys sooner rather than later.